early WWE SummerSlam plans have been revealed, plus the real reason for Ric Flair's AEW debut, and we have an update on Uncle Howdy's possible WWE return. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. So here we are. There's Andrew in his hoodie and his hat.
Yes.
All winterfied.
Yep.
Let's talk SummerSlam.
Woo!
This is my island in the sun. SummerSlam for everyone. We have a few details to share regarding the biggest party of the summer for 2024. What are Fightful Select saying, Andrew?
Fightful Select are saying that Cleveland, Ohio is in the running to potentially see WWE SummerSlam 2024 land within their territory. There are several sources that are connected with the city of Cleveland as well as the Cleveland Browns. One WWE source said they heard that the event was even likely for the city. We've not learned if Cleveland Browns Stadium or Progressive Field would be the location that WWE has in mind for the event if it does end up there.
Now, the Progressive Field is a great venue for it, as is the Cleveland Brown Stadium. But they have a history, a potted history in Ohio, in particular Cleveland to WWE. The Gund Arena, which is now the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, was the home of SummerSlam 96.
Shawn Michaels and Vader, that one.
The Boiler Room Brawl.
Jake the Snake and Jerry the King Lawler as well.
King Lawler.
Ooh, who could forget that one?
It was a night, and Steve Austin, Yokozuna on the pre-show.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was a show. It was also the site of Invasion 2001, the night that the WWF went to war with WCW and ECW and started a chain of events that made us all go, throughout 2001. Myself and Matthew Gregg have just finished 2001 on the Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review.
And you survived.
We made it through.
Survived.
To quote Madonna, we made it through the wilderness. Somehow we made it through. Next month, Undertaker is in Cleveland at the Agora Theatre doing his One Dead Man show. Am I right?
Am I right?
And Raw will be there. It will be at the Gund Arena in December as well.
Nice.
So there's a lot of history there, and I think it's, in terms of location, it's a good one. It's a good shout for one there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
It just feels weird talking about SummerSlam.
It does.
In October.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And also around that time as well, it's, WWE looking like they're going to be heading to Berlin soon after that as well.
So they're going everywhere.
It's a busy.
I'm excited for WWE next year.
It's a busy summer for them.
It is.
If you are in Cleveland, obviously keep an eye on in case this big announcement comes down. They'll put tickets on sale, no doubt, soon afterwards. But the NWA are in Cleveland this weekend for the most violent pay-per-view in National Wrestling Alliance history. There we're going to see a bunch of very violent matches, including a Knights of the Round Table tables match.
A Knights of the Round tables match.
The tables are round and much thicker.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just gonna swords and just poke each other.
No, if only it's that. Not that, and a litany of other great matches taking place. Now, we've had some great NWA talent on Desert Island Graps over the past week. We had Father James Mitchell coming on for a chat. He reveals some scrapped plans for a character that he had in NWA TNA.
Ooh.
Which is nice. Kerry Morton was on Desert Island Graps, the son of Ricky Morton. He talks about his NWA contract situation and interest from WWE. And we had the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3 on Desert Island Graps as well in the last week, in which I revealed to him that he's part Geordie.
He's part Geordie.
Mm-hmm.
You did some sleuthing.
Well,
some digging.
Ethan Carter III is obviously, related to Dixie Carter.
Yes.
And Dixie Carter is...
Declan.
Has the Deck connection, has the Ant and Deck connection, so therefore EC3's part of Geordie.
Nice.
He said he'd like to hook up with them. So, not in that way, that'd be weird. But he also talks about his plans to upgrade the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship as well. If you need some stuff for your ears over the weekend, the Cultaholic podcast feed is awaiting for you there. Over the past few days, we've been talking about Ric Flair, who popped up as Sting's special present from Tony Khan. Now, Dave Meltzer spoke about Ric Flair's debut in AEW, sharing the reason behind it, and, as you're about to hear, scrapped plans for an earlier one.
Ooh, yes, Dave Meltzer said he was going to go there right to AEW sooner. I was assuming that he was going to go as the manager of Andrade, but he and Tony Khan had a verbal deal, and then after Dark Side of the Ring came out, it was not the right time.
So we did hear a lot of rumblings about Ric Flair popping up in AEW around, a year or so back, but then when that Plane Ride from Hell episode of Dark Side came out, they just went, we'll park this for now. And there was a lot of stuff that was connecting him with Andrade at that time as well, because obviously he and Andrade team up for his last match. And so there was a lot of rumblings that would be where they would go on AEW. Now, in terms of why now, though, why now have we got Ric Flair in AEW? Well, Dave Meltzer has more.
Yes, he said it's the TV contract year, and I think they're really trying to hotshot as many stars for ratings purposes because of the name value and things like that. But by doing that, you're also aging the show. And nostalgia when it comes to TV ratings is usually a short drug, not a long-term thing.
Interesting, because it's something that we criticized WWE for in the past, where you will just get these Legends Nights hot-shotted to boost a rating, and they never necessarily work long-term, because and it would be a bad move for AEW to fall into that trap. But then we've seen a lot of their debuts recently, not all of, but a lot of their debuts have been some more established talent, some more older talent. That seems to be like a nostalgia direction that they're currently moving in. And as Dave says, it's as has been the case with WWE, which we have called out, as we are calling out here. It is... It's not always a long-term gain to do that.
No, and I think that's it. And perhaps maybe in sort of in keeping Ric Flair in mind there, someone who has got away and come back multiple times after saying like, oh, I've gone away now, like I've done forever. So maybe the novelty of Ric Flair coming back has maybe worn off on quite a few people as well.
Maybe they pull the trigger on the whole managing Andrade thing.
Maybe, yeah.
They find a way towards that.
Could do. If that gets Andrade on TV a little bit more often as well.
That's all we want, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's all we want. On a similar note, over the weekend, check out some brand new lists from us at Cultaholic. The 10 weirdest wrestler-manager combinations coming your way. There's some interesting names that have been managed by people that you wouldn't necessarily pair them with.
Yeah.
But somehow the pairing just works.
Ooh.
Also check out 10 short-lived wrestling stables that could have been much bigger. If the union doesn't get a mention, then, well, I will form a union. And of course, the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast is on tonight. The lads back together, Jack, Ross, and Matthew Gregg, with a lot of wrestling on your YouTube. Join their cult.
It's girthy this week.
Is it a girthy week?
I have heard it is girthy this week.
No. Well, all leave is cancelled. New podcast. We'll end on some news regarding Uncle Howdy. We lost Wyndham Rotunda a short while back, but there was some speculation that this wouldn't necessarily be the end of The Fiend and the storylines involved there, namely Uncle Howdy, who is played by Bo Dallas. A report from Better Wrestling Experience earlier this month claimed it had been agreed within WWE for Uncle Howdy to take over the Firefly Funhouse, as well as the previously planned Wyatt 6 faction in honor of Wyatt's memory. Now, those plans, according to Better Wrestling Experience in a follow-up, are off for now after, quote, a few promising talks. How do you feel about them doing that in the wake of Bray Wyatt's passing?
I think it's a wonderful, lovely thing to do, and to have Bo Dallas be the one, obviously, to front that and carry his brother's legacy forward, and hopefully, you would hope he would build off that as well. At the same time, wouldn't want them just to like forcefully put something out just because, and then it not land with people. I would rather, have fond memories of the Firefly Funhouse stuff with Bray Wyatt than rather them try to make something out of it and it not really land with people.
It's a tricky one to...
Yeah, definitely.
Tricky line to walk, innit?
It is, yeah.
Would love to know your thoughts. Pop them down there. Is it the right to eulogize Wyndham Rotunda by bringing back his character, or is this a point where we just let the character rest and we call it there? mate. Let us know down there. You're never backward about coming forward when it comes to opinion. Whack them down there. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, as always, you can check out Cultaholic.com. See you in a few hours at Turning Point at the Walker Dome in Newcastle for Impact Wrestling. Kiss.
Love you, bye.
What am I doing?
I don't know.